Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that whenever we release a video at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, you'll be the first to receive the same. Remember to share the video with your friend, your mama, papa, girlfriend, boyfriend, and your side chick and side man. Yes, and post a comment below, even just to post and say, I am here to show your appreciation of the work that we are doing here at the Jamaica Young Police Channel. And thanks for being a part of the movement. So, moving on. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we hate criminals with a passion. So here's one of them. This guy name is Javon Pinnock. Yeah, aka Froggy. Have a distinct scar on the left side of his face, and him eye go all the way down to him cheekbone. And you know, more or less is a Jamaican do that, you know, telephone cut. I don't know how them come by that thing for, you know, to scar people face like that, and that it's just awful, but terrible people. So this man that you're looking at, his name is Javon Pinnock, aka Froggy. Yeah, Froggy them call him on the street, and he's wanted in New York, in Queens, New York, for the murder of Javon Jamison, a Jamaican youth them called Blingers. Yes, and Blingers was killed almost 2 years ago by this man and another man named Christopher King. Christopher King is in custody in New York, awaiting trial for the murder of Jamison. So we are appealing, we are begging, beseeching you Jamaican people in Jamaica and the diaspora, wherever you see this man, to inform the police, whether it's 119 or 911, and let them know that this man is wanted in New York for the murder of Javon Jamison, so that this man can be placed in custody or go straight to the departure home where he belongs. And that's justice. And we say that because we hate criminals with a passion, because there was no reason for this man to kill Blingers, because Blingers was not a threat to him at the time. It was murder, clear murder. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yes, you know, we're at the Jamaica Young Police Channel. We're celebrating time, you know, criminals go straight to the departure lounge. Yeah, man. And that's where they belong. So you're looking at a man, his name is Daniel McIntosh, a wanted escapee. Yeah, man. He was shot by the cops straight to the departure lounge. Yeah, so you know, he was one of the escapees from the Barnett Street police station. And we want to congratulate the officers them, yeah man, especially DSP Linward Edwards, the man they are warrior, the man they are fight for keep Jamaica safe. So at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we firmly believe in supporting our security forces in their efforts to protect and serve the nation. We don't apologize for celebrating when criminals who have wreaked havoc on our communities meet their end at the end of the security forces. The truth is, the vicious and dangerous individuals who attempt to harm our law enforcement officers, our citizens, have long forfeited any claim to sympathy. Over here we don't see sympathy coffee, tea, breakfast, lunch or dinner. So if you're in a sympathy thing, you're coming in the wrong place because you're not going to get it. We can tell you that. The only thing you get the real mama papa bitters to go straight to the departure lounge. We give a champagne, a glass of champagne for you go on your flight. That's it. But no sympathy. You don't get sympathy over here. The only people get sympathy and empathy are victims of crime. And we don't apologize for that statement. And we are very happy that the US aid that Jamaican for Justice used to receive, that cut off, permanently. So we don't know who's going to fund them for them to continue to terrorize our security force and embolden our killers. As we say, we pray that Michael Jackson and the likes have a very bad day. Every time a killer is taken down by the security force, we see it as a victory. Not just for the police, but for all law-abiding citizens of Jamaica who deserve to live without fear. The moment these criminals decide to engage in acts of violence, especially when they threaten the very men and women who are sworn to protect our society, they made it clear that they have chosen their fate. They made a decision to be enemies of the state, enemies of the police, and ultimately enemies of life. Telling the police to save the lives of people who have made it their mission to murder, maim, and terrorize others is a dangerous and misguided sentiment. It is not about vengeance, it's about ensuring that justice is served in the most straightforward way possible. The reality is that the security forces are specifically trained to neutralize threat. And in life, or death situation, there is no room for hesitation. They are trained to shoot, and they must be able to act decisively to protect themselves and the public. When criminals engage or decides to engage in violence, they have made a conscious choice to face the consequences. And we don't believe in about for meeting a court, you meet your maker. That is why, after a confrontation, there is no need for further consideration, no need to revisit whether their lives should be spared. At the end of the day, there is a clear moral boundary. When someone chooses to harm others, they forfeit the right to mercy. Let me repeat myself. When someone chooses to harm others, they forfeit the right to mercy. The only place left for them is the departure lounge, a metaphorical reference to the inevitable consequences of their actions. Our message is clear. We stand firmly with the security forces who risk their lives daily to protect ours. We support their right to act with the full authority granted to them under the law. And we are unapologetic in celebrating their victories over those who would destroy the fabric of our society. It's time to recognize that when the wicked fall, it is a step forward, claiming our streets and protecting our future. Barnett Street lockup, escapees shot and killed during police operation in Cambridge. A man who was involved in a daring escape from Barnett Street police station lockup in St. James late last year has met a violent end following an operation in Cambridge on Tuesday. The deceased, identified as 24-year-old Daniel McIntosh, was fatally shot by officers who allegedly drawing a weapon on them. The incident took place in the Mazeland community where police had launched an operation targeting suspects tied to the December 14, 2024 escape from the lockups, along with other wanted individuals. Authorities received intelligence indicating that McIntosh, along with other escapees, may have been hiding at a premises in the area. Upon arrival at the location, law enforcement officials knocked on the door and announcing their presence. The police report states that they heard movements from within, and based on their suspicion, they proceeded to breach the door. So the boy a shuffle and look for him gun. In the ensuing moment, McIntosh was reportedly found holding a firearm and allegedly aimed it at the officers. In response to this immediate threat, the police took evasive action and opened fire, striking McIntosh. After the exchange of gunfire, McIntosh was discovered with an AK-47 rifle in his possession. Having sustained multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body, despite efforts to save him, he was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced, DED, dead. No, not DEAD, DED. Because that one quicker than the other one. The St. James Police Department, in collaboration with the Indicom Commission of Investigators, have launched an official inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the fatal shooting, ensuring a thorough review of the operation. The investigations will focus on the actions of the officers involved and determine whether the use of force was justified in this high-risk encounter. This incident highlights the ongoing challenges faced by the Jamaican security forces in dealing with armed criminals who pose a direct threat to the safety and stability of communities, while the details of McIntosh's involvement in the lockup escape remain unclear. Scrutiny is violent, hence serve as a stark reminder of the dangers law enforcement officers face in their effort to restore order and bring justice to areas plagued by criminal activity. Barnett Street lockup, inadequate security and escapee expose critical vulnerabilities in Jamaica's justice system. So the Barnett Street lockup, located in St. James, has long been the subject of growing concern both among law enforcement and the public, known for its dilapidated infrastructure and chronic under-resourcing. The facility serves as a holding site for individuals awaiting trial or sentencing. However, its condition has increasingly come under scrutiny, with many questioning our place designed to house individuals accused of serious crimes can so easily become a breeding ground for insecurity and lawlessness. A former police officer who spoke with the Gleaner paint a grim picture of the lockup's deteriorating state. The lockup here at Barnett Street consists of several derelict buildings that have been falling apart for many years, making it virtually impossible to secure properly. The officers explain, additionally, the facility is often undermanned, which means that it should only be used for low-risk prisoners. Those facing serious charges, such as murder, should be housed at a more secure remand center, like one in Kingston. The officers' candid assessment underscored the fundamental flaws in the facility design and operation, which seem to directly contribute to the security breaches that have plagued the lockups. It is clear that Barnett Street was never intended to house high-risk detainees, and its failure to meet even basic security standards leave both officers and inmates vulnerable. This glaring vulnerability became tragically apparent on the morning of December 14, 2024, when 5 prisoners escaped this facility in a brazen and seemingly well-coordinated breakout. The escape occurred between 5 and 6 a.m. and the escapee were later identified as Edgar Spence, 42 years old, facing charges of possession of prohibited weapon. Tidell Ferguson, 36, charged with larceny of a motor vehicle. Tyrese Brown, 22, charged with murder and rape. Daniel McIntosh, also facing charges of possession of prohibited weapon. That's the guy with him killed earlier with the AK-47. So I tell you what happened to them. And Maurice Belnavis, 43, charged with simple larceny. The audacity of this escape, particularly given the serious charges many of these men were facing, raised immediate questions about the adequacy of the lockup security measures. Fidel Ferguson, a third escape, was recaptured the day after the breakout. However, the news of his capture was bittersweet. Ferguson had been found by a local resident in PSA district suffering from a gunshot wound to his leg. highlighting the violent and dangerous nature of those on the run. This development further compounded the already troubling situation, prompting calls for urgent action to address the systemic issue at Barnett Street. As the day unfolded, it became clear just how dangerous these escapees were. Later on Saturday, police confirmed that Edgar Spence was fatally shot during a confrontation with police in the Valley Heights community near Green Pond. The news of Spence's death added a grim layer to an already devastating escape story. However, the fatal consequences didn't end there. Tyrese Brown, also known as TJ, or Sheetman, was the second escapee to be killed by law enforcement. Brown, a resident of Freeman Hill in Trelawney, was charged with the August 23rd rape and murder of 15-year-old Jamila Cole, a Trials high school student. Brown's violent history made his recapture an immediate priority for the police. And on Thursday afternoon, after a tense standoff in his community, Brown was shot dead by members of the Trelawney police. While the police swift response and the use of force in these situations may be seen by some as justified, it's also highlight the dangerous environment that these criminals are creating in their wake in this case of McIntosh, Spence and Brown. Their violent attempts to resist arrest or flee captured and fatal consequences. Their deaths underscore the harsh reality that some of these individuals are not only capable of inflicting harm on others, but will stop at nothing to avoid justice. The escape from Barnett Street raises urgent questions about the state of Jamaica's detention facilities and the level of security provided for individuals facing serious charges. It highlights the critical vulnerabilities that exist within the system, particularly in facilities like Barnett. Yes, big thanks to everyone who reach out via the channel's telephone number to show interest in subscribing to our new platform, one that builds to speak truth to power and impact every single person living in America and around the world. It doesn't matter if you are black, white, yellow, green, blue or red. This message is for all people who believe in freedom, truth and justice. Yes. As we have said before, the name of the new channel speaks for itself. United we win, divided we lose. And you're looking at, most people say that they cannot find it and all kind of things. So now, getting the feedback from, from most of you people, in which, we can't even count the amount of people that reach out to us and leave message. We cannot find it. You have to understand that my voice, this voice is not a voice that has been loved by the powers that be. Because when you speak truth, they try to censor you in every way. But guess what? We're not gonna stop, So united we win, divided we lose. That's not just a slogan. It's a fact. It's a call to rise above fear and stop playing it safe, while the system quietly chews up and spit us out. Even you. Cowards might think they are staying out of trouble by staying silent, but in the end, we just say it runs there spiritually, mentally, financially and politically. So here's the truth. It is better to live a life and die as a free, honest, decent, honorable and truthful human being than to exist as an obedient, broken slave begging for crumbs from a table that was never built for you. For over 400 years, our ancestors, we are taught black people, cried out to a God. They were taught to fear, kneeling and praying to a man in the sky, while their bodies were chained and their minds conditioned. That didn't free them. What did? Knowledge, courage, unity. Men like Taki, who the same maroons in Jamaica kill, chop off his head and put on a pike, Takis the one why the United States of America exists today as a republic, but they won't teach the white people in America. A black man who took on the British Empire and won. And it's time we walk that same path any bolder. This new channel is not for the weak-hearted, the lukewarm, or for the comfortably numbed. It's for those who know who they are, God's children, defined by nature, fearless by choice. If that's you, welcome on. To the rest, stay away. We don't need friends who are secretly enemies. We don't need deadweight doubters or deceivers. When we say enemies, we're talking about everything that stands against the truth. Lies, manipulation, division, cowardice, and blind obedience. No more lies, no more games, no more silence. This channel is the battleground for truth, and we are not backing down. How many times can they kill us once? Millions of our ancestors has died for this, for the little freedom that we're enjoying. God created every man equal, but some think that they're superior. And those who think that they're superior, just look, not one of them have ever been the fastest one in the world. Their genes are recessive. Our genes are dominant. So please, subscribe to the channel. We know that we are being sabotaged and tampered by the powers that be. But as time goes by, the truth will reveal. Barnett Street, St. James, which are equipped to handle high-risk detainees. The escapee and subsequent deaths of these individuals also point to an urgent need to reform not only the terms of infrastructure, but also the terms of staffing and operation protocols. So I will say before we continue to say, we love anytime criminals have a bad day. Yeah, I mean, straight to the departure alone, because that's where they belong. These guys are some evil people. You understand? Them want to kill people and do as them like, and them don't want to go to jail. So them willing to, take on the security force and them have to just pay. At the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we are committed to exposing these systemic failures and holding those responsible for them accountable. While we understand the need for proper investigation into the actions of the police during these operations, we also recognize the importance of maintaining law and order in our society. And we support the police 100%. No if nor buts, no wiggle room. When they mess up here, we'll make them know. For those who choose to break the law, especially those who try to escape or resist capture, there can be no room for leniency. None. No room for leniency or mercy. As we continue to call for justice, we stand firm in our belief that criminals who threaten the safety and security of our communities must be dealt with swiftly and decisively. As one of the escapees remains on the run, we urge the public to assist the police in capturing this dangerous individual who believe that it's time for such criminals to face the consequences of their actions. At the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we have no hesitation in calling for these criminals to be brought to justice, whether through lawful means or through the departure lounge. For those who refuse to comply with the law, in the battle to restore order and protect the innocent, we know where we stand, on the side of the law enforcement and justice. The Barnett Street lockup situation is a stark reminder of the severe vulnerabilities within Jamaica's criminal justice system. The escapee of 5 dangerous criminals, many facing serious charges, underscore the urgent need for reforming the management, infrastructure, and the security or detention facilities. The tragic outcome of these escapee encounters with law enforcement further emphasize the high stakes involved in the battle against crime and the dangers posed by individuals who resist capture at all costs. And as we say, yeah, we love when them go straight to the departure lounge, because these people not learning. Them feel they must harm people, and them have immunity and protection from the law, so we have to deal with them and we support the police. The events surrounding the escape and subsequent death of Edgar Spence, Tyrese Brown, and Daniel McIntosh other highlight the critical need for better security protocols, adequate staffing, and improved conditions within the lockup system. While the police are to be commended for their swift action in recapturing some of these escapees, it is clear that this incident calls for a systemic change to prevent similar breaches in the future. At the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we remain committed for advocating for justice and accountability of the criminals. We stand firm in our beliefs that criminals who threaten the safety of our communities must face the consequences of their actions. Our support for the law enforcement officers and members of the Jamaican Defence Force who risk their lives daily to protect society is unwavering, and we continue to call for the swift apprehension of the remaining escapee. In the fight for a safer, more secure Jamaica, we must all stand united in ensuring that the law is upheld, and for those who seek to undermine it are held accountable. I want to thank the police again for sending this dirty bungle straight to the departure lounge. If you resist, like Daniel McIntosh, straight to the departure lounge. You choose a life of crime, there's only two ways out. You go to prison or go straight to the departure lounge. You choose which one you want. We love when you guys choose the departure lounge like Daniel McIntosh. You reach your AK-47 and squad it us whop you with the 6 pants. That's how it go. And you make nice like a hog. And squad it us tell you, don't worry, everything is gonna be alright. Yes, and you just go straight and open up your eye and fight it, because you don't want to be dead. Yeah. And when all these they do in the eye open, a life of crime don't pay. Every day we wish criminals have a bad day. Yes. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out. Dirty Bungo McIntosh. All I want for every criminal for dead and guard the departure alone. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.